Hello everyone, welcome back to the latest update series of Drishti IAS. This is Divya Kawatra, and today we are meeting to discuss a very important topic, that is National Tribunals Commission, that is being discussed across all the platforms and in the Parliament. Why? Because a bill has come. That's right. Let's understand about the bill. Let's find out what bill this is, what is it proposing, and what will we have, and how does this hold relevance in constitutional framework, in our current judicial framework. We'll understand all that. We'll answer all those questions. Stay tuned till the end. All right. Okay, so first of all, let's understand what has happened. What is the news? The Lok Sabha on Monday has passed a bill. What kind of bill? They've passed a bill to overhaul the oversight of India's tribunals. All the tribunals, and then one tribunal to actually govern all those tribunals. All right. Now this, they've proposed a National Tribunals Commission so that they can fill vacancies, monitor performance, and oversee all the complaints that are coming regarding tribunals, so that the functioning can be made proper and it can be made more accountable and transparent. For that, the proposal has come for National Tribunals Commission. Clear? All right. So now this has come because India's tribunals are facing mounting caseloads. Judiciary has caseloads, yes, across 93,000 caseloads. But this pendency does not limit to judiciary. Even our tribunals are facing caseloads because there is a pendency there as well. The functioning is not proper, and in that there is a concern that is persisting over vacancies, delays, and independence of the tribunals. Okay. So this framework that we are coming up with now, this will give us the power, the key powers will be held by the central government. Along with that, there will be appointment of chairperson, members that will exclude National Company Law Tribunal from the Commission's direct ambit. Please remember that. They are saying that the existing tribunal, National Commission, is already there for Law Tribunal. We are already excluding it from the Commission's direct ambit. It won't come under there. It will have individualistic functioning, but there will be correlations. What kind of correlations? We'll talk about that. But for now, do we understand what is the news, why this is coming up? Yes, a bill has come forward. Under that bill, a proposal has come forward to establish National Tribunal Commission, right? That is what we want to establish, so that better management can be done of all the tribunals existing in the country. Clear? All right. On that note, let's understand the highlights of the bill, like what is bill proposing, what kind of structure it is giving us, and how are we going to composite it. All right. First of all, establishment of the NTC. Under establishment of the NTC, we see that the bill is saying it should be an independent oversight body. Overall, the tribunals, it should be there, but it should be independent. Otherwise, there is no purpose of creating it, right? But how do we make sure it is independent? There will be members, there will be chairman, there will be a structure, there will be correlation as well. So how do we ensure its independence? They're saying that it will have 5 members. Okay, 5 members. One will be chairperson, one chairperson, former Supreme Court judge, and here comes the independence, because they don't have any other relations apart from judiciary. This will ensure independence. Supreme Court judge or former High Court Chief Justice can also be a part of this. 2 judicial members will be there from former High Court judges or Chief Justice, and 2 technical members, experts in any specialized sector that we are paying attention to. In terms of judicial dominance, a question was raised, like, wouldn't this mean like there is a very high judicial dominance and this isn't working as tribunal anymore and it might work as a court? On that note, a reply was given that having judicial majority, that is 3 out of 5 members are judicial. So you have judicial majority. They said that this ensures compliance with constitutional principles and at the same time ensuring separation of power. If we don't have judicial members, the separation of power might not happen, because then we might have to have political members as well, right? To avoid that, we are only focusing on judicial members and experts of the sectors, right? Which is a very great composition to make it independent and to make it unbiased, right? And obviously, constitution compliance is an added benefit, right? That is the composition. And amidst that, we see the scope and responsibility regarding this. First of all, they've specified the functions here, saying that This tribunal members will evaluate performance, they will appoint members, they will investigate any complaint that is coming against the decision of the tribunal or the tribunal itself or the members of the tribunal itself against chairperson, member, and they will establish National Tribunals Data Grid to have data across all the tribunals accustomed to one point so that they can address it all and make sure it is running smoothly. Right? This lies in their basic functions, covering the 16 major tribunals and appellate tribunals that are working across India. Now they say that will this repeal 2021 law, because by 2021 law we already have workings of the tribunals. So they said that it will replace the Tribunal Reforms Act 2021. Yes, we will be replacing it to constitute a new framework along with the National Commission that is coming forward. Along with that commission, new kind of law will be formed so that we can work according to the provisions of the latest bill. All right. There were provisions which were struck down by the Supreme Court and Madras Bar Associations also regarding judicial independence. So it is already under scrutiny, it is already questionable, right? So they're saying that why keep it? Let's revamp it completely, bring the new act, and according to that, let's govern the entire Tribunal Commission, right? Exactly. Next, if we talk about why the backlog crisis is there and what is the context regarding this and what are the concerns regarding this that might arise. First of all, the reform is resolving severe delays that are happening because of which a backlog has come forward. All right. According to 2025 study by legal think tank Daksh, there is a legal think tank Daksh that has done a study over 3,56,000 cases worth roughly 24.72 trillion. Because tribunals give those payment issues, right? And if they are resolved, they involve 24.72 trillion. They are pending across 10 commercial tribunals handled by only 350 members. Only 350 members across 10 commercial bodies are working to resolve these cases that account for approximately 24.72 trillion. Just think about a part of the GDP. It is almost 7.48% of India's nominal GDP. That is how large this is, and ultimately these need to be resolved so this money can finally flow into the market. This will give a sudden boost, right? Exactly. But there are concerns. Why there are concerns? Because they are saying if there is an exclusion of NCLT, how so? The National Company Law Tribunal, we are excluding it, right? So arguably they are saying that India's most critical commercial tribunal handling corporate insolvency, this corporate insolvency and disputes is omitted from this. So if you omit that, most of the cases won't even fall under the category of the new commission. And if they don't, then what is the target? How do we proceed with that? How do we speed fast the process regarding those cases, right? If you are omitting that, that is not a good thing. And even though its appellate body NCLAT is included, legal experts are still saying that this will bring two-track system, and that two-track system will create more problems than solutions. That is a rising concern. The second concern that has been pointed out is retained executive power. How so? Central government retains authority over final appointment. So that is like even if you are not a part of it, you are still making appointments. That means you are still over it. Right? You're not releasing it out of your power. No, you're still holding that power even though you are not becoming a member of it. You've clearly stated that we want judicial dominance so that there is independence following of the constitution. But at the end of the day, you are making the appointment. That means you are not out of the equation. You're just creating a persona that you are out of the equation, but you are not. Right? That is a concern raised by the study. All right. Okay. So if you understand the constitutional basis or genesis for this, we already have 42nd constitutional amendment inserted that under part 14A into the constitution, that was based on Swarna Singh committee that we see. Article 323A, administrative tribunals, that is established only by parliament for public service dispute. Then we have Article 323B, tribunals for other matters like taxation, land reform. All these can be established by parliament or state legislature. So then Parliament has that power, yes. But as an executive, does central government have that power? The Constitution clearly states Parliament or the state legislature has that power, not central government as an executive authority. Only legislature has that power, right? Number one thing. But there's a distinction. Unlike the ordinary courts under Article 136 or 226 tribunals, do not follow strict rules of evidence, right? They don't have procedural code, CPC. They're guided by principle of natural justice. That is the most important and beautiful thing regarding this. They don't have these law protocols or CRPC, IPC or nothing. No, they have natural justice, like whatever feels natural in that scenario, you do that, right? That is the basic principle regarding this. However, evolution has happened after many efforts. How so? Because first of all, in 1997, L. Chandra Kumar case, Supreme Court said that judicial review by High Court is a part of basic structure. Tribunals still remain subject to High Court writ jurisdiction, right? The control over them, the cases related to this, let's understand the cases related to tribunals. So in 2014, R. Gandhi case entity judgment, Supreme Court strikes down National Tax Tribunal Act. The act was struck down. They mandated substantial judicial representation on selection panel. They said that if judicial representation on selection panel, not on the panel, mind it, on selection panel, and now central government is doing that. Where is this? Right? That is also raising concern. Then 2021 Madras Bar Association versus Union of India, and that it was clearly said Supreme Court strike down executive dominance in terms and appointments under 2021 Ordinance Act, reiterating the demand for National Tribunal Commission. This was done by Judiciary saying that National Tribunal Commission should be formed and the selection panel should have substantial judicial representation. Now they've not given the representation in selection panel, but they've given representation in NCT itself. A fair trade for judiciary. But then again, if selection is still being done by central government, how do you ensure independence, transparency, accountability? Where does that go? Right? Tell me, in your opinion, do you really think this body can be independent if we move forward with the structure as suggested in the bill? Or should there be any changes? What is your opinion on this? Tell me in the comment section. And on that note, let me remind you, we have our freedom sale going on up to 50% off from 11th to 16th August across various verticals like UPSC, PCS, teaching exam, judiciary, CUET, etc. Especially for you, we have India ISGS Foundation course, all online live courses, flat 50%, not up to, flat 50%, slashed prices, lowest price ever. Don't miss out the chance to take benefit of this, right? 11th to 16th August, remember the dates, and this also includes mains courses as well as optional courses. Visit the Drishti IAS website or the Drishti Learning app to avail this discount, and if you face any problem at any step, feel free to give us a call at 87501-87501. Alright, remember the dates. What are the dates? 11th to 16th August. Very nice. Alright, on that note, let's solve a question regarding this tribunal. Alright, you have a question on the screen. Solve and give your answer in the comment section. Done? Alright, on that note, if you want to join us for more such discussions on current affairs, let me remind you that we meet from Monday to Saturday every day, 8:30 a.m. live to discuss the Hindu newspaper, PIB news analysis, as well as question practice. That's right. That is the structure of the class. Running on Drishti IAS English channel, you can join the channel and join the class every day, Monday to Saturday, 8:30 a.m. live. Alright? Okay, so that was our session. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.